Hi everyone, it's Andrea over at Sewspire.com, and I am so happy to show you today how to finish our gorgeous collaborative duffel bag design. I absolutely love how this bag came together. You all did a brilliant job with the design polls. There is one more really important decision you can help me make about this beautiful bag, and that is what to name it. So today I am going to be showing you how to install the vertical zipper panels on the two interior compartments, as well as the top zipper, which spans horizontally across the top of the bag. And I have for you a specification sheet for this project. A specification sheet is not a tutorial, but it is a PDF document that includes the pattern measurements, the supply list, a little bit of room for your notes, and it will make crafting this bag easy for you because you'll have everything you need in one document, but you will need to reference the videos for the actual instructions. I just ran out of time this month, which brings me to my next point, and that is that I need to postpone our drawstring tutorial until the last Friday of the month. I have several live Sewspire events in the month of April that you're welcome to check the schedule and join me for. I also have final exams and final essays / research projects that I have to complete and a family vacation. So you're not going to actually be losing any content because we're still going to make the drawstring bag. I'm just going to do it all in one segment for you at the end of April. So I will still be in the group page, on the Patreon page, in the Sewspire Zoom room. We're going to have our monthly Plan to Be Creative meeting. There's still lots of opportunities for us to connect and create. I just won't be presenting the drawstring tutorial until the end of April. And as a result of that, the design specification sheet for this yet to be named beautiful duffel bag is free of charge as a thank you to you for your flexibility while I finish up school. I am actually really looking forward to wrapping up this semester. I am doing great so far, but I am excited for our summer plans here at Sewspire. So tons of fun, and it's going to really be a relaxing, chill, creative summer. So I hope you're looking forward to that. So that's enough about what's happening here. We've got some important work to do so I can show you how to finish this gorgeous bag. Shall we get started? Okay, so what we are going to do today is frame out one of the smaller interior compartments. You are going to use this exact same process for the second interior compartment and for that top exterior zipper. The only thing that will change is the measurements for the top exterior zipper, which I will provide for you when we get to that point in the process. So for the interior compartments, I am working with Zipper by the Yard, and I am going to be creating separating zippers using this zipper, which I can cut to fit my panels. And then I am going to use some faux leather to create little tabs on the ends of those so that I can make this a separating zipper. And for each interior panel, I am using 2 pieces of the home decor material, which is 9.5 wide by 12. And I'm going to need 2 of those for each interior compartment. I'm going to press those in half, and then using 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, I'm going to stitch those short sides. And then once you have this short side stitch, go ahead and turn that right side out, poke out those corners, give it a good press, and take that top edge and turn it inward just about 1/2 inch and press that nice so that you end up with a panel that is finished around all 4 sides. And then as mentioned, you're going to need 2 of these little zipper gussets or zipper frames for each interior compartment. And then you're going to want to cut your zipper 1 inch longer on each side. So that zipper works out to be about 10.5 inches long. And then you will thread on your zipper pull. Okay, and once you get your zipper pull on there, then you're going to need to cut a 4 inch by 1.5 inch strip of a faux leather. You could use authentic leather if you like. Basically, you need a non-fraying material, so cork would also be a wonderful choice. And you're going to fold that in half and then cut that right on that center line, so you end up with 2 pieces which are 1.5 by 2 inches, and those are going to become the tabs which are going to go on the end of the zipper. And so you're going to put a tab on each end of it and stitch across there right through those zipper teeth and reinforce with the back stitch. Repeat that for the opposite side. This side, of course, the zipper teeth will be separating a little, so you're going to have to hold those and keep those aligned. On this side here that we just attached, where the zipper is separating a little bit, you're going to go ahead and slice that right down the center there, and that's what will create the separating zipper, and the little tab stops that zipper pull so it doesn't come off. But I do like to go back in and add another row of stitching on each tiny tab. Alright, and now I have created a custom separating zipper. Now I want to take these 2 panels and I want to take that end that is open and I want to position that right up against those zipper teeth and centered in between those tabs, and I'm going to swap out to a zipper foot so that I can get nice and close to the edge there, and I'm going to run 2 rows of stitching on each side so that I end up with one of these panels on each side of the zipper. Okay, so in the end you're going to end up with 2 of these short separating zipper assemblies, and just for your planning purposes, the top zipper gusset requires 2 pieces of the home decor fabric, which is 21 inches long by 11 inches wide, and you will cut your zipper approximately 23 inches long, and then add the 1-inch tabs to that at the ends. And this is what my top zipper assembly looks like. And it has a pretty donut pull on that. And I just want to double check the measurement on that zipper for you. It ended up being 22.5 inches long when it was finished, if that helps you with your planning. Okay, so I won't need this top assembly for a few minutes here, so I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to bring over our beautiful bag, which last week we installed these 2-way divided interior compartments. I have my second zipper assembly in place here, and so you're going to be slipping this smaller zipper assembly in between the 2 panels, just a smidgen, like about 1/2 inch in between the 2 panels and the side panel. And those are positioned vertically on the bag. So I am going to begin with the end here that's near the zipper pocket, because that's going to require the least amount of fiddling. And I'm just tucking that right in between those side seams. It lines up perfectly with them, and it's tucked in just about 1/2 inch. And for this, I suggest using these long pins because the clips are going to slip, and that will become a challenge for you because it's really important that everything remains aligned here. Okay, now what I want to do is take this remaining end and sandwich that in between those center layers. But I have this second panel here that I have to take into consideration. So I'm going to bring that panel out, and I'm going to align the ends of these like a bird. You know how you could draw those little stick birds? So I'm going to align the ends just like that, and then tuck them in together in between those layers. And just starting at one end, I will get a pin through all of those layers, and then I will go down to the second end and get a pin through all of those layers. And we only want this tucked inside of there about 1/2 inch. So once you get the ends in place, then it makes it easier to adjust. Okay, so that's looking good, because then we can unzip our zippers. And I do want to note that I have that part of the zipper that opens on the pocket side because I want to have as much accessibility to those pockets as I can for packing. So once I have the zippers unzipped, then I can reach inside of there and secure all those layers. And using my hands, or fingers rather, I can feel that fabric and tell that it is aligned. And so in total, I have 4 of these really long pins inside of there, and 4 on the ends here, or 3 it looks like on that end. And so this is what that looks like, and I'm gonna try to, I'll zip it and then try to stand that up for you so you can see how these function. There we go. So they are going to be loose on the fronts here because our full length zipper is going to span across there. But before we can start fiddling with that, we are going to need to secure these smaller zippers in place. So unzip these and begin at the ends here, and you're just stitching seam to seam. You do not want to encroach on the front or rear of this because we need that open for the top zipper. So if you can, remove your machine deck, and again our goal is going to be to attach the sides first. So I'm just going to fit all of that up on there and back it right up to that seam. The right edge of my foot is aligned perfectly with the top of that fabric. And I will be pulling out these pins as I go. Check underneath and make sure you don't have anything else in the way. Now I want to come over to the other side, which has that second exterior zipper pocket on it, and bring that up onto the machine deck and secure that zipper panel to that side, just stitching seam to seam and being very mindful not to capture anything that I don't intend to be captured in that seam. Okay, so the second side is attached, and the reason that we're doing this is we want to secure as many aspects of this as we can so we can get rid of some of these pins and ensure that our panels are not going to slip. Okay, so I have the ends in place. Now I want to fit this center up on the machine deck and secure both of those center zipper panels at the same time. And so again, this is just stitching seam to seam, and you're really going to have to smooth things out and be very familiar with what's what. So get your center panels up there and then take the time to look underneath and go nice and slow. So it's very important to note when you are stitching the center that you should not encroach past, or you should not exceed those side seams, all right? Because that's going to end up making it so you can't attach your top zipper. So your only mission at this point was to get these interior vertical zippers in place, and we did that by first attaching them to the sides of the bag where the exterior zipper pockets are, and then to the center compartment which joins those two interior compartments. And it's looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and zip those up and give you a look. It's a beautiful bag. I'm really infatuated with this fabric. Okay, so now it is time for me to bring over that exterior zipper panel. And I want to get that positioned in between the interior and the exterior on the front and the rear of this bag. So I'm going to need to remove all of these pins. And same thing, I'm only going to be tucking that in there about 1/2 inch. So it's going to be easiest to get the ends in place and then unzip and come back in and work to the center. And as you're pinning this, take your time and align the interior and the exterior fabric now so that you don't have to go back in and fix that. As you reach that center, you may have to push any excess material off to the right and the left because you don't want a pucker here. So just kind of push that out, and if you need to adjust and let that out to the ends, do so. Okay, that's looking really nice. Okay, and now I can go ahead and start pinning the opposite side there. So I'm going to get each end in place. And same thing, when you reach that center point, if you need to move any of that fabric, you need to move it towards the ends. You do not want to end up with a pucker in the center of the exterior. Okay, so once you get that pinned in place, then just take a peek at everything and make sure that nothing is folded or wrinkled there. You don't want to sew in any creases, and that it appears pretty even. I'm going to go ahead and test this zipper. Nice. What a great looking bag. Very cool. And because of those interior zippers, the contents are still secure on this side, but I have this awesome, like, you remember those winter muffs? I have this great extra cargo space under here for like a jacket or a blanket or something. Really fun. And I'm still achieving a traditional duffel shape. Very fun. Okay. So now, before I handle this too much, I want to go ahead and get this zipper in place. So don't forget, we cannot just sew one nice, neat, straight line because we have this center compartment. So we're going to have to sew from the center compartment out or out into the center compartment, lock that with a back stitch, jump, sew there, lock that with a back stitch, and sew again. So we're basically sewing in 4 segments, back stitching at each point. I think it will be easiest to get all the zippers open, and you can choose where you begin, whatever seems more natural to you and your machine. I think I'm going to kind of start from the center here and feed this up on the machine deck. And I'm going to back it in as far as I can go and look under there and make sure I'm not stitching anything crooked. And this part is just going to take time and patience. Don't worry if you can't get right up against that center seam, because we can go back in and touch that up. The main goal right now is just to get as much of this zipper panel secured as possible so we can get rid of these pins and reduce the chance that anything will shift. So just go as far as you can go and then back stitch and check underneath and make sure everything looks good, and then switch over to the opposite side. Okay, so now I have half of that zipper gusset secure. I'm going to work on the second half now. And there's not a right or a wrong side to start at. Whatever feels like you have the most ease of access would be ideal. And as you start to get close to your original seams, go as close as you can without encroaching on that center panel. And don't worry if there's a little space there because we can go back in and touch that up. Okay, so I have one more side and then the hard part is done. Okay, so now I have the bulk of that zipper in place. There are just a few points where I need to connect those seams, and the easiest way for me to do that is going to be to first come in to these interior panels and butt those right up against that zipper. So I'm just going to put this first end on. And I'm just stitching from where I ended the center zipper to where that exterior zipper begins. And so that gets rid of the little hole that was in that, gosh, it's about 3/4 of an inch spans there. And I have the same situation on the other side. I can fit like an index finger in there. So I just want to smooth down all of that fabric, and I'm just stitching from that exterior zipper to that interior zipper. Okay, so now there are no gaps in the interior. And the last thing for me to do is to shore up any little gaps that might exist on the exterior there. So I think I have everything secure on this awesome bag. I've got 2 pockets on each compartment against that rear wall there. When you are stitching across this exterior zipper, obviously you want to make sure you don't stitch your pocket shut, so be mindful of that. And then I have 2 spacious interior divided compartments, which I can pack and zip. And then I have a full-length zipper across the top. It is up to you if you want to bring up these handles and stitch those again right across that top seam there. That is entirely optional. All right, so now that I see it filled up, I like it even more. It very much has a barrel shape to it, which is so fabulous. Excellent work on those design poles. You did such a nice job with these decisions. I'm so happy with this gorgeous, gorgeous bag. Okay, across the top, I am coming in at 20 inches. And then we have a depth here of 9 to 10 inches. It depends how full you have that bag. And then, as mentioned, the really cool thing is there's all this space underneath here that you could roll up like a sweater or a jacket, a little pillow, a little blanket, and you could get that extra cargo space in there for something last minute that you wanted to add to your bag. Then don't forget you have the front and the rear slip pockets and 2 really nice generous side zipper pockets on each end. Just again, brilliant job with the design choices on this bag. I'm so excited to pack it. Okay, then you open up the separating zipper on the top there, and you have 2 more zipper compartments to keep the contents of those individual compartments separate, as well as add some stability to this bag. You know that I did not use any interfacing foam, no batting, nothing but material to construct this bag, and that was so that it would stow nice and flat for me when it was not in use. And you can see when it's packed, it takes the shape of its contents. But I will tell you, the zippers and the zipper gussets act like stabilizers because they're essentially frames for this bag. So don't underestimate those in this process. And I have a very large sweater packed in here, and I still have plenty of room there. When I do get this bag packed, I'll try and take some pictures and let you know about how many outfits I could fit in it. But I feel like I could put like 3 or 4 summer outfits in each side, so that's very useful. And then I just want to flip it over and give you some measurements along the base in case you're curious. And there I'm coming in 21 by 8.5 across the base. So super work. Love, love, love our finished project. That was an awesome project. Thank you so much for your flexibility on this. Thank you for voting in the design polls. I absolutely love this bag, and I am so happy we took the time to design it right. So as mentioned, I did not have time to craft the whole step-by-step PDF tutorial for you, but what I have done is put together a complimentary design specification sheet that includes the required supplies and materials list and all the pattern measurements for you, and then a little bit of room for your maker notes. So you can grab your copy of that complimentary PDF by following the link down in the notes, and then I will also link to the playlist, which has step-by-step instructions, and you can make yourself one of these awesome bags. There's only one more decision for us to make, and that I would love your inputs on. I want your help in naming this beautiful bag. So I'll give you one more good look at it, and then I am going to open up the comments for your suggestions on what we should call this duffel bag. So give some thought to what you think we should call it, and I will choose my favorite name from the comments. So before I go, I want to mention it is going to be a couple weeks until I am back here on YouTube. We went a little long on this bag, and as such, I've had to adjust the schedule because I am finishing up my classes for school, and I have been assigned several essays as well as final examinations that I need to prepare for. So I want to give that work my full attention. And then in between there, I am going on vacation with my family. So I have to prioritize here. But all that being said, I still am hosting a couple live events that you're welcome to attend. I will be on the Facebook group page sewing a pair of pants live in April, and you can get all the dates and the schedule for the year also by following the link down in the notes there. We're going to make Simplicity S8922, and I have made a couple pairs of those pants, and so I'm going to sew a pair live on the Facebook group page in April. And then I'm also hosting a 90-minute zipper workshop in the Sewspire Zoom room. There are just like 2 or 3 seats left for that. If you want in, follow the link down in the notes and you can join us live to talk all about zippers. And then I will also be hosting a live sew together for the Sewspire patrons in April. So the next time I see you will be that last Friday in April, and we are going to make one of my favorite summer bags. It's a drawstring purse, and we're going to make that start to finish. So you're not missing out on any content. I'm just delaying when it is released. And I hope you guys can hear those winds out there howling. It's a true spring here in Virginia, and the winds are just blowing everything. I can hear the wind chimes, the winds, all of that. So I hope it wasn't too disturbing to you during the tutorial. I want to thank you all for your patience and understanding while I wrap up this semester of school. I'm going to have the whole summer to play and sew and host events. I'm really looking forward to that creative time. So you'll be seeing a lot of me in the very near future. Until then, please know the creative genius in me will be celebrating the creative genius in you. Have an awesome few weeks, everybody. Thank you so much.